Hello, welcome to Step Forward. My name is Deborah. How are you doing? And thanks for joining today. For all my returning subscribers, I just want to say a massive thank you for always checking back on this channel, for clicking on that link, inviting you to watch my new video. Thank you so much. And for those who are new, thanks for coming, and please don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, and share with other people who might be blessed with this video. So basically today we're going to be talking about seven good causes of domestic violence. Support, thank you so very much. And so today, without wasting our time, we're going to be talking about 7 good causes of domestic violence in our relationship. Domestic violence is a public health, it's a major, not even just, it's a major public health problem all over the world. So it's not something that has been experienced only in the UK or in America or in Asia or in Africa or any other part of the world. So it's a major problem being experienced all over the world. And I remember the World Health Organization also pointed that it is a problem that affects at least 1 in 3 women. So for instance, if you're standing right there with 3 of your friends or female friends, there is a possibility or a likelihood of one of them being a victim of domestic violence. So that's why it's something I'm so passionate about. It's always good to remind ourselves of the danger of domestic violence and what can we do. You know, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I actually talked about what we can do. But today, I think it's really important to talk about the causes of domestic violence in our relationship, especially in intimate partners' relationship. So why is it important? It's important because the impact of this domestic violence on us as women or other men who have also experienced domestic abuse could be health problem. You know, we've seen a lot of mental health problems within our society today. So they don't just happen. And one of the major contributory factor is also domestic violence in relationship, in homes. So that's why it's really important, not just mental health alone, it also affects our physical health. I'll be talking about the impact later on, but today, without wasting our time, so let's just quickly dive into 7 good causes of domestic violence or domestic abuse within our relationship. One of the causes of domestic violence in our relationship is poverty. Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised. So when people live in poverty, their reasoning, the way they think, the way their problem-solving skills, everything is impacted. It impacts on their well-being. It impacts, you know, when someone can't feed themselves 3 times a day, or when they are struggling to pay their bills or their rent, when they can't contribute to their normal what they can contribute to everyday activities, everyday spending, everyday. So you know, a lot of things will be affected, isn't it? So poverty basically is one of the major causes of domestic violence or domestic abuse in every of our relationship. Sometimes there's a saying that, you know, when the rich people talks, the poor keeps quiet. So, and apart from it affecting our relationship, it affects people in every aspect of their lives when they live in poverty. It affects their income. You know, they are unable to meet ends meet like every other family who are any good or any better than them would do. And poverty is not even all about income alone. It also affects the accommodation that we live in, the type of house we live in, the type of friends that we keep. So poverty affects quite a lot of things, but it's one of the main causes of domestic abuse when there isn't enough finance, there isn't enough support system. People are being confronted with the consequences of poverty that could lead to arguments within the family, that could result in physical abuse. It could result in sexual abuse. So, for instance, those who are unemployed. So I'm going to put that as poverty / unemployment causes of domestic violence. When people are unemployed, so a lot of things are wrong. They can't achieve what their everyday mates or everyday people, any better than them, would love or would achieve. So that's one of the things that is responsible for domestic violence. And the second one, so the second cause of domestic violence is level of education. Some people don't understand the impact of domestic violence on themselves, as perpetrator, and also on those who are at the receiving end of the abuse, or those who have been abused. For instance, in a sexual relationship, if one partner is uneducated, the level of awareness of domestic violence is quite very low, then there is a higher possibility of them abusing their partner in such a relationship. Because one, when you understand the consequences of what you are doing, how it can affect you negatively, how it could also affect the other person negatively, then there is a tendency of us not doing such things that will harm or hurt others. But when you don't fully understand the impact or the negative consequences of domestic abuse on other people, then it's much more easier to carry it out. For instance, if you've seen those who have been battered, who have been exposed to domestic abuse, they're always quiet, easygoing, and one of the reasons could be, even sometimes when they are upset, they don't want to show it that they are upset, so they would rather keep to themselves, because they understood the impact, the implication on themselves as well as the other person. One of the impacts of domestic abuse on yourself as a perpetrator is that you could get arrested. Yeah, if the other party chooses to go through the police or the court route, then there is a tendency of someone being penalized for domestic abuse. So you could be fined, you could be charged as for assault. So that's one of the reasons. So when you really understood the impact of domestic abuse on yourself as well as the other person, then there's a likelihood of you not doing it. So the number 2 cause of domestic violence is the level of awareness of domestic violence and the level of education. Number 3. So the third cause of domestic violence in a relationship is mental health problem. People who are suffering mental health problem can, lash out or behave in a way that is not socially acceptable. So there's a likelihood of their mental health having greater impact on their behavior, on the way they relate with other people, and that could result in further domestic violence. And number 4, so the fourth cause of domestic violence in every of our relationship could be cultural factor. There are some cultures that put male above females. So if you grow up in such a culture whereby women or females are being regarded as a property, something you can acquire, then there is a probability of abusing those things. There's a probability of misuse of those things. Because if women or females are seen as property, you can decide to smash your TV if you're upset. You can decide to smash your phone, or punch on the wall, or do any crazy things when you are upset. Pardon my language. So the same thing goes to when cultural factors places men on women, and women are being regarded as a property rather than as human being or as part of the society. So that could be responsible for the domestic violence that most people witness in their or experiences in their relationships. Number 5, historical factors. So if someone has an historical factor of domestic abuse, for instance, probably their parents also, there is a history of domestic abuse within their family setting. Growing up, dad abusing women, or dad abusing the mom, or the mom abusing the dad. There is also a likelihood of them processing their experience, and it could further impact on their relationship in the future if that negative experience or that negative part of their lives is not dealt with. And that's why, before people marry, I always encourage them to go for counseling, so that all those things can be picked, all those little things can be picked up. Love at first sight, or this early relationship kind of love can cover our eyes, that in a way that we do not think about factors such as the abuse history within the family, how it can also impact on our own relationship. But when we take time to attend marriage counseling before going into marriage, there's a tendency that this type of discussions might come up, and then things could be resolved before going into the marriage, for those who have experienced who have witnessed or experienced domestic violence within their own families. Number 6, high emotional stress. High emotional stress can also be responsible for domestic abuse. When you are stressed, today, early in the morning, jump to work, jump on train, jump on driving long distance, working strenuous, doing strenuous work, working long hours, family issues, finance problem. All this can place a stress upon our lives. And at the end of the day, we lash out against our partners, against our spouses. So that could lead to domestic violence. If the partner who you are lashing out with, whom you are lashing out on because you are stressed, is also stressed, then there is a possibility of domestic violence in such a relationship. So these are some of the things we need to watch out for in every of our relationship. When you are stressed, please calm down, take a break, resolve why you are stressed before moving to the next stage. Else things would escalate and could lead to domestic violence within our relationship. Even at work, if you're really stressed, there's a possibility of making mistakes at work, and that could lead to problems within our productivity. Our productivity level could be reduced. So that's why we shouldn't take stress or high level stress lightly if you're going through one. And number 7, low intelligence quotient, which is known as the low IQ. So if somebody has a low IQ, for instance, their ability to understand things properly, their ability to reason properly and resolve a problem within that relationship will be low, or it will be reduced at a reduced level as well. So when someone has a low IQ or low intelligence quotient, that inability to resolve everyday problems in such a relationship could lead to domestic violence. So these are 7 reasons why domestic violence occurs in every of our intimate relationships. And if you like to know more, if you want me to come, there are more, but for the purpose of this video, I've done 7. I'll be coming back later another time to discuss more of the causes and probably dish out some of the solution. But if you want to check back some of my previous videos, there are some videos whereby I've been able to address this further as well. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things. But please don't forget to hit the like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. It's absolutely free. It's free. So please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you soon again. Bye for now, Deborah.